It's time for the telecast, brought to you by
the Geekcast Radio Network. And here is your host for the show, Optimus Solo.
Hello, as he said, I am your host, Optimus Solo, and I'd like to thank you all for joining me for another special edition supplemental episode of the telecast. Today, we're giving you the fourth of our 6 supplemental episodes, and for those of you that haven't been paying attention, supplemental episodes basically give us a chance to take a relaxed look at the Season 1 genre without having to talk about any specific show in detail. And the topic for this supplemental episode is the top theme songs from kids' live-action programming. So the only criteria here is basically that it had to be a kids' live-action program that we grew up with, which basically means an 80s or 90s show. And to help me go through the top theme songs of all time for this genre is none other than the
fucking great one, TFG1 Mike.
Jesus. You are definitely getting something put in there.
No.
So hello, sir.
Yes, hello. Now, I need to clarify, again, we didn't discuss this beforehand, because as of this time, you just came out of a thunderstorm and stuff.
No, it wasn't just a thunderstorm, apparently.
Tornadoes.
It came out of tornadoes. Not the kind that hit Missouri and killed everybody, but, yes, it threw trees around. It left me with no power for 6 hours yesterday.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
And I now have a pine tree in my backyard that I did not have before.
So, we didn't get a chance to talk before we recorded this, so I basically just took it as pick your 10 favorites or your 10 best from Season 1 of Telecast.
As did I, so that's good.
So all of mine are just from season. Like, you're not going to hear the Nick Arcade song.
You're not going to hear anything about Mighty Morphin Power. Anyway.
What does that have to... Well,
because they made an appearance in one of our other supplemental episodes.
Oh, yeah, well, that's all JT's fault.
Exactly, JT. Never do that again, even though he already told me he was going to.
You're fired.
He already told me he was going to do it again at some point. And I do want to make clear, though, that we have independently come up with our list, and we don't know each other's lists.
That's what I just said.
I know.
It's a tornado. We haven't talked in 7.5 hours. We made our list separately.
And for those of you that have not listened to supplemental episodes before, basically how this is going to work is we're just going to bounce back and forth. He's going to give his number 10. I'll give my 10. And we will work our way to our number 1. So I think that's enough about rambling. Do we need to say anything else before we get right into it?
Nope.
All right, then why don't you hit us with your 10th best theme song? I'm scared. I'm already scared.
I'm so glad I don't have a metal plate in my head. You know. The Adventures of Pete and Pete.
Boo.
Shut up. The song was good. The intro visual was kind of weird, but I really liked Hey Sandy. I thought that was a really cool song.
It was a interesting song. I just don't picture it as a theme song.
Well, for that show, maybe
it's my Pete and Pete hate that's coming out.
Yeah, it is.
Oh well. All right. So you started with Pete and Pete, and I'll start with one that you probably won't like.
Salute your shorts.
No, my number 10 is let's just call it a Lost theme song.
Oh, God.
The theme song from today's special. It's just so great. It makes me want to sing it right now, and I'm not going to.
That, you know...
Shout it loud and clear. Anyway.
Before you found the Lost episode, we weren't sure if you were going to be able to get Christopher Stapleton from Chicken Pot Pod.
Correct.
I said, well, if worst comes to worst, when episode 12 at the time, because that's what today's special is supposed to be, was episode 12, if worst comes to worst, I can join in or whatever and just kind of like go off what I've seen. Because I've before you linked it to me, I had never seen this show in my entire life, and I'm so freaking glad. This is why Canadians scare me.
This is a great show. If you don't know what today's special is, please go back and listen to the Lost episode of the telecast, and you will love it. Anyway, you'll learn lots of cool things about it. But that's my number 10, so what's your number 9?
Nye the Science Guy.
Nye the Science Guy. I so thought about putting that one on my list. Only because of that line. That's
the
why
only,
it didn't make my list.
Besides that, the only reason why I put it on my list is because of the singer in one of the last episodes of Hannah Montana made mention of Bill Nye, and she sung it in that tone of what the theme song is.
Well, to me, like that line is one of the best lines of a theme song, but to me, the rest of the theme song is lacking. Just my personal opinion. Like, I don't care about any of the rest of it. The only part I like is the Bill Nye the Science. That's the only part I like.
Yeah.
My number 9 is another educational guy, good old Mr. Rogers.
Mm-hmm.
How can you not like Mr. Rogers and the Neighborhood Song? I mean, that's just classic. I mean, I can't put it too much higher because it's one of those, to piggyback on what you always go off on, it is one of those educational, preschool-ish type shows, which doesn't take away from the theme song, but it's not like it's not like a kick-ass theme song. It's a good nostalgic theme song.
This list, for me, I didn't rank them like 10 is worst, 1 is best. Even though my number 10 is probably, in some people's opinions, the worst, and my number 1 could be the best. But for me, when I was making my list, I went by what I liked more. So
that's kind of making it 1 is the best, and 10 is
I'm saying
1 is your favorite.
Right, but what you'll see is as my lists go down, it's like what I like more. So it's starting with Pete and Pete, Bill Nye, and then whatever my number 8 is, it's me telling you what theme songs I like better and better and better.
Oh yeah, it's basically the same with me with a little inkling of also a little bit of a quality control as far as it has to be a kick-ass song for me to have it at the very top.
Yeah.
But Mr. Rogers is like it's one of the most unforgettable songs. It's one of the most nostalgic. Like everybody remembers it. I just can't put it above some of the ones. I can't put it above any of the ones I have yet to come, and hopefully people will agree with me. Where are we going next?
My number 8 is Sesame Street.
Can you tell me how to get... Anyway. This is like the same as Mr. Rogers, basically.
Yeah, kind of.
It's one of those nostalgic, good, everybody knows it. I actually did not put it on my list. I feel wrong. It was number 11. It just didn't make the cut for me.
Yeah.
It's just too... I don't know. The kids drive me nuts every once in a while. The kids and their singing. But my number 8 is kind of in the same ballpark. My number 8 is Down at Fraggle Rock. Down at Fraggle Rock. Another Henson creation here. And the reason Fraggle Rock made it for me over Sesame Street, is because to me Fraggle Rock is the less annoying of the two songs. Mm-hmm. I think both songs are good, but I could only listen to Sesame Street once every great while.
Oh, I'm by no means, like, putting it at number 8, am I by no means saying I could listen to this theme song over and over and over again, no.
Whereas Fraggle Rock, I can listen to every once in a while.
Yeah.
But I don't know. For me, Fraggle Rock's just a little bit better than Sesame Street. Where do you go next?
My number 7 is Fraggle Rock.
Great minds think somewhat alike. So you're in agreement with me on this one.
Yes.
Catch cares away. I mean, come on.
Yeah, but it's more so like Sesame Street. I like the theme tune to it.
But the kids singing.
Well, right, but I like the actual song of Sesame Street. But the visual was okay, but it wasn't like the best ever. Fraggle Rock, you have a story being told between Sprocket and what's the stupid human's name?
Sprocket, old boy.
What's the old guy's name?
Just call him the old guy.
Yeah.
Go back and listen to
I know, yeah. Go back and listen to Telecast episode 14, right.
Thanks, Rain Man.
Exactly. But, it told a story through and through. It started with them. It went to Gobo. It went to the Fraggles. You had the Doozers. You had Ogre I think the Ogre things. And then I forget what they're called. Grumbles or Grambles. I don't know. Groundlings. I don't know. You had the big giant ogres. And then you had the actual title of the title card. Mm. And it told a story of you knew what could happen in each episode.
It was a complete theme song.
Yeah.
And what I mean by complete, like when I think about if I'm really going to break down a theme song, first of all, is the music part good? Second of all, is there actually like verses and somewhat of a chorus? Like, does it actually follow somewhat of a song instead of just being a couple words? And third is, does it introduce you to the show to the point where you're ready to watch, even if you've never seen another show? The theme song does everything it needs to do so that you can pick right up. Mm-hmm. And Fraggle Rock does all those things.
Yes, it does.
I think the Henson Love Fest should continue. So for my number 7, I'm going to go with the Muppet Show. So we've had Sesame Street, 2 Fraggle Rocks, and now the Muppet Show. So apparently Hensons do somewhat decent job when they pick their theme songs.
Yeah.
The Muppet Show, it's just, to me, just a touch better than the Fraggle Rock song.
Out of the trifecta, Muppets is the best.
Yes. So we're in agreement. Sesame Street, then Fraggle Rock, then Muppets for not only show quality, but for also theme song quality.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, I don't want to go into too much detail about it. I mean, it's just classic Muppets. Everybody should be familiar with this song, and again, it's a good song that sets a good stage for the show.
Yep.
That's all I can say about it. Number 6.
The Muppets.
Again, we did not coordinate our list. This is random.
I originally had these 3 shows differently placed in my list, but I had to place them where they are now because of other things that are coming up. The Muppet Show, to me, the Muppet Show theme, again, like with Fraggle Rock, it tells you a story. It gives you the 2 funniest old guys in television history as far as puppetry.
Yes.
It gives you redonkulous Gonzo at the end with a horn or a chicken or tuba or whatever he's got.
Something blowing up.
Yeah. 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 I don't want to get into Green with Envy. No, I cannot talk about that without laughing. But the music was great. The visuals were great. And again, that's why it's my number 6. So what's your number 6? My
number 6 is something, this is probably the one I debated about the most. My 1 through 5 was easy as pie. My number 6, I really thought of almost not even including it on my countdown at all, but somehow it made it in at number 6. It's still another kind of preschool elementary show, and I went with Reading Rainbow. Like I said, part of me says it shouldn't be on my list, and part of me says it should be number 6. There's no in between here, but something about the catchiness of this theme song did it for me. Now, yeah. I could see some people saying it's kind of annoying in a way like Sesame Street is annoying because it's kind of that high pitch or whatever, but I don't know, something about the way it's in a book. Like, I don't know. It was Reading Rainbow. I was ready. I was ready to read. I know most people probably won't agree that that's one of the top 10 theme songs from this season, but I put it at number 6, so deal with it, people. So basically, the first half of our countdowns has been Henson shows with the little Reading Rainbow and Mr. Rogers, Today's Special with me, and with you had Bill Nye and Pete and Pete. So, I don't know. We kind of had a theme going there with the younger shows.
Yep.
Where are we going with our second half?
My number 5 is Mr. Rogers.
Alrighty.
Simply for its iconography. Because everybody knows this. You don't even have to hear his voice. You just hear that very first note of the music. And then you see the visual, and you see him, and he's talking to you like you're in his house.
It's very comforting.
Yeah.
And that's something that was good about that whole show, and it started with the theme song. Like, from there to the end, you were comforted, you were comfortable, you were ready to go. It's warm and fuzzy.
Yeah.
You're not going to like my number 5 either, I don't think, but this, to me, is like just one of those songs that is always in my head, and I could just bust out randomly singing this song, and you will never know when it's going to happen. Like, I could be at work, like when I used to work at Target, and like once the store closed, this might be the one I start singing. I might start singing DuckTales, but I might start singing Hey Dude. It's just something about this song, and I love Westerns, and I know you don't like this show that much, but it's coming out on DVD, and I'm happy, so I had to put the theme song at number 5.
Yeah.
Hey Dude. Number 4.
No.
I thought about this one.
My number 4 is Clarissa Explains It All.
I thought about it.
I think my top 3 are going to actually throw you for a loop.
Uh-oh.
But, well, my top 3, number 3 and number 2 might throw you for a loop. But yeah, no, that tune, that's all you needed for that show. You didn't need, I mean, yes, she says something at the end, but it's very simple, and sometimes, simple is best.
It was one of those at the time, you heard that, you knew exactly what was coming on.
Oh, yeah.
First note. Just like, boom, oh, it's Clarissa time. You're going to see a theme that begins now, I guess, with a...
Oh, God.
My number 4 has something to do with, I'm standing at the edge of tomorrow. Huh? Saved by the Bell of College Years.
Okay.
I don't know why, because it's very, like, distorted. It's very, like, music heavy. But
it's almost a rock tune.
Yeah, but just something about that show. I loved that theme song. This was one of the first theme songs I ever downloaded when I was in college downloading music. Like, it was one of the first theme songs that popped into my head that I was like, I need that song on my computer. It's just, I don't know, something about it. Like you said, that rock feel, but yet still Saved by the Bell-ish. I don't know. Agree with me, disagree. Whatever. What's your number 3?
The classic, the original Saved by the Bell.
Which is hard to beat. Come on. It's hard to beat that. Everybody knows that song. That's one of the most known songs in the world.
Yeah.
Just
again, a theme song that told a story.
Yeah.
And it fit with the visual introduction to the show.
I'm Saved by the Bell.
And this was before they had the whole thing of, oh, we have to show you a prologue, and then we can show you the show intro, and then we can go into the action. This is like, okay, best example I can give you is after a Disney Channel show ends. They have that Disney Channel original thing pop up. Some sort of production logo, okay?
Yeah.
So at the end of one show, you have that production logo, and instead of the next show, like maybe there'd be a few commercials, whatever, instead of the next show starting with a prologue, you would always get just right into it. The next show's theme, the next show's opening. And I missed that. As much as I don't mind the prologue type of the way television has gone these days, I miss just starting a show with a theme song.
And hearing that bell ring
Yep.
to start the thing off, you're like, yes, it's Saved by the Bell time.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this.
Number 3.
California dreams, don't wake me up if I'm dreaming. I mean, come on, the whole show was about a rock band. The California Dreams.
I never got into that show.
The California Dreams were a rock band, a teen rock band. Their theme song better be good. And,
yeah, exactly.
and it was good. It was great. It's one of the best, one of my favorite theme songs of all time. It's almost good enough to be a standalone song that could have been played on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
Disagree with me if you want, but I think that song could have been a hit without the show.
Yeah.
All right, we're down to the top 2. What do you got for me?
The college years.
We think so much alike.
Just because.
I'm going to go shoot myself.
We don't want to give people the wrong idea.
I'm going to go shoot myself.
No, but seriously, I like. Knock it off.
At the edge of tomorrow.
When.
Sorry.
It had been, like, how much time passed between...
Very long.
Would you say 1-2 years, maybe?
I think it was something close to that. We'll get to that here in a couple episodes.
Right, no, but I know that. But what I'm saying is, like, I'm trying to remember how much time passed between Bell Classic and college years, because, like, after... If it wasn't a couple of years, it had to at least have been 6 months, because after the whole Zach and Kelly get married at the end of Bell, I went on to other things. I was like, okay, they've got their happy ending. You know, that's
the same year. It started the same year.
Oh, did it really? Huh.
Saved by the Bell, the classic, was original run until May of '93, and Saved by the Bell, the college years, started in May of '93.
Really? Wow.
So they immediately went into it, apparently.
I must have caught
Unless my information's wrong. It basically started at the same time.
I must have caught it in syndication then when it was like maybe in reruns, because I don't remember in 1993, I do not remember after Zach and Kelly's wedding, the Hawaiian special, whatever the fuck that was.
It says the pilot happened in May. I guess the actual series didn't start until September that year.
Okay, see, yeah, that's what it is then. The pilot must have happened, but I don't think I ever caught the pilot. That's what happened then, because after the wedding stuff happened, I moved on. I didn't know anything about it. And, sometime later that year, October, November, whatever, I turned on whatever, I think it was NBC or whatever channel had Saved by the Bell. I turned it on. I'm like, what the fuck? What's Zach doing with Screech in this dorm? And then I heard the theme song and I was hooked.
Yeah,
that theme song is great. There is only, in my opinion, out of season 1, there is only one theme song that can top that theme song.
Well, I can see your point, and I'm going to disagree with you because. I have California Dreams obviously ahead of it, and 2 more songs ahead of it. But
what I'm saying is, like, for my list, there's only one theme. Like, I'm saying, outside of California Dreams and outside of whatever else, I'm saying that Saved by the Bell, the college years, there's only one other show in the entirety of season 1 that can beat it.
And I already know which one you're talking about.
No, you don't.
My number 2 is the classic Saved by the Bell. So we just have ours flip-flopped, kind of. But to me, it's something like I like the song. The college year song better, just by itself. But the feelings the original conjures up in me, of that show, and just knowing every single word of that song. Instantly, like, everybody knows. It's not, you don't just know the song, you know the words, like, and the bell ringing at the beginning, and it's just like, yes, I love this show. Like, I don't know what else to say except for Saved by the Bell is awesome, and Saved by the Bell College Years is also awesome, and both of their theme songs are awesome.
For a second there, I thought you said, it's where everybody knows your name. I'm like, wait, that's a completely different season of telecast.
Everybody, anyway. But I think I'm going to go out on a limb here And I'm going to predict that we both have the exact same number one. And so what we're going to do is we're going to give you a little drum roll here, and that followed by the number one theme song from season 1.
Well, she sneaks around the world from here to Carolina. She's a sticky finger filter from Berlin down to Belize. Take me for a ride on a slow boat to China. Tell me where in the world is
Carmen Sandiego.
Steal their food in South Korea. Making nothing comes right off from the Red Sea to Greenland. They'll be singing the blues. Well, they never Arkansas her steel. We come from the jungle. Tell me
Where in the world is
Carmen Sandiego. She goes from Nashville to Norway, Vanessa, Zimbabwe, Chicago to Czechoslovakia and back. Well, she'll ransack Pakistan and run up scam in Scandinavia. Take she'll stick 'em up down under and go big pockets first. She was the vixen misdemeanor when she stole the beat from Lima. Tell me where in the world is
Carmen Sandiego.
tell me where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Tell me where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Where could she be? Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
So I did a little risk taking there. I took a chance because I actually have no idea what Mike's number one is, but you got to take risks sometimes. And I'm guessing your number one is the song that just played, which is, hopefully you're not going to throw me under the bus here in a second, hopefully I'm not wrong. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
Ding, 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 ding.
Yes. All right. So I apparently do know you too well. I'll let you start. Why number one?
Rockapella. I mean, seriously. These guys, for it only being a game show, I'm sorry, between them and Lynn Thigpen, those are the two main things I remember from that game show, was the song, the band, and just the way that it is.
I agree. There's something about Rockapella that is just epic.
Yes. Epic.
And this song is awesome. The reason this is the number one song is because I guarantee, unlike any of these other songs that we've talked about, some people somewhere tuned into this show only to hear them sing.
Yep.
Now, you cannot say that about any of these other shows. As good as the Saved by the Bell theme songs were, you tuned in to watch the show.
Yeah.
This, you tuned in to hear Rockapella.
Yep.
And the show was good too, but Rockapella trumped the show.
Yeah.
Like, Rockapella stamped the show as, this is really our show, we're just letting you parade it around like a game show.
Exactly.
And I don't know if that's the only way I can put it. That's the best way to put it. This theme song not only is the best game show theme song of all time, it's not only the best kids live action theme song of all time. Like I said, all time, not just from what we grew up in. I've never heard a kids show with a better theme song of any decade.
No, I'd have to agree.
We're not talking about cartoons.
Right.
Cartoons are different, and we could have some arguments with cartoons.
Yeah.
But as far as like a live action kids show, I don't care if you're talking about 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, whatever. This is the best theme song in that genre.
Yep.
And I don't want people to be thinking that was the only one we were going to play for you. You just got to hear the number one theme song. You are going to hear a mashup at the end, though, of the other songs that we mentioned. So don't think that you're done hearing some epic music in this episode. We can't have a theme song supplemental episode without more theme songs being heard. But before we get to that, what are your thoughts kind of on theme songs in general, the theme songs from season one, your list, my list, whatever?
I mean, like I said, back then, I mean, I really don't count the game shows because, like, okay, Carmen's great. Carmen is, as we just said, the best. But as far as kids live-action television, with what we're dealing with here in Season 1 of Telecast, I'm not counting the game show themes. I'm counting the actual television show themes where I can say that, you know, it's what got you into the show.
Yeah.
You didn't need a prologue. You didn't need a funny prologue gag, or you didn't need a funny, like, opening skit gag, and then go into it. Like, I know that's the norm of today with television, and that's fine. It works for today's standards, but back then in the 90s, late 80s, early 90s, everybody wanted to hear that, you know, that theme song, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what show it is. Everybody wanted to see... Oh, God, it's funny. No, it's funny because I thought of another puppet show.
Oh, jeez.
Well, I know you don't care. Thank God you don't care about this as much. In Season 5 of Angel, there's an episode called Smile Time, and it's a kids' television show much like Muppets, Sesame Street, but Puppet Angel, because he's so excitable, as soon as he hears the theme song, he goes nuts and just runs right over to the TV and just puts his face right up here to the center of the TV. That's what theme songs did back then.
Yeah.
They got us into the show. If you didn't like a theme song, okay, great. If you didn't hear the theme song, chances are you probably wouldn't watch that show.
Right. Well, and for me, what makes a good theme song, and what I thought about when I was creating my list, number one, do you know what the show is from, like, the first one or two notes? Like if you instantly know what show we're talking about by just hearing those first couple bars of a theme song, then it had a chance to make my list, which most of these you know instantly.
Yeah.
You know, it can't be something where you're having to listen for 10, 15 seconds before you realize what show you're listening to.
Exactly.
Number two, you know, some of these songs made my list because they stand alone. Like I said with the California Dream song, and there's other ones you could say that for, the song almost doesn't need the show to be a song that people enjoy. And like I said with the Carmen Sandiego, if you tuned in because of the theme song, that's the ultimate as far as making a good theme song. And Rockapella were genius. So, you know, I love all these theme songs. I'm such a nerd because I actually have a playlist on my iTunes that is TV theme songs, and I think maybe once every couple weeks I just put it on shuffle and start listening to theme songs. That's how much I love these things. But I don't know. Theme songs are great when they're done right. Unfortunately, they're not always done right. But these shows that we mentioned, most of them, at least the ones I picked, were done right.
Well, the ones I picked were done right for what the show was.
I'm just kidding.
Oh.
All right. I think that does it for this supplemental episode of the Telecast. I'd like to thank Mr. TFG1 Mike for being on with me today.
The fucking great one. Yes, you're welcome.
And I'd like to thank everybody else for tuning in and listening to us here on the Telecast. If you want to leave feedback for the show, this is what you need to do. Go listen to one of the regular Telecast episodes and find out how. I like doing that. For now, we hope we succeeded in entertaining you, informing you, and most importantly, unleashing the geek in you on this special episode of the Telecast. And we hope that you will tune in for our next episode when we start a brand new block of episodes with Good Morning, Miss Bliss. For now, I'm your host, Optimus Solo, with
TFG and Mike.
Thank you for saying it right. And we will see you in 10 days for another episode of The Telecast.
Sprocket, old boy, what are you barking at? What do you see?
Get your cares away. Worries for another day. Let the music play. Down at Fraggle Rock. sweeping the clouds away. On my way to where the air is singing. Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street?
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? It's a neighborly day in this beauty wood, a neighborly day for a beauty. Would you be mine? Could you be mine?
Butterfly in the sky, I can go twice as high. Take a look, it's in a book, a reading rainbow. I can go anywhere, friends to know and ways to grow, a reading rainbow.
Hocus pocus, Alan, so special. It's for everyone. Today's special. Come join in the fun. With magic everywhere. A world for us to share. And friendly faces hoping that you want to meet us there. For today's special. It's about to appear. It's about to appear. Today's special. Shout it loud and clear. Today's special.
Bill Nye the Science Guy. Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Bill
Nye the Science Guy.
It's kind of strange. You look at happily rain. I can't tell if you're bed. Or have you been to the target yet? It's in bed. Such a dog bite.
One, two, three.
Yeah!
Well, she sneaks around the world from Maryland to Carolina. She's a sticky finger filter from Berlin down to Belize. She'll take you for a ride on a slow boat to China. Tell me where in the world is
Carmen San Diego.
there's only South Korea, baby, don't it come crying, come from the Red Sea to Greenland, will they singing the blues? Or will they never Arkansas still? The beat come from a jungle, tell me where in the world is
Carmen San Diego.
she go from Nashville to Norway, but air to Zimbabwe, Chicago to Czechoslovakia and back. Well, she'll ransack Pakistan and Afghanistan and Scandinavia, then just stick 'em up down under and go big pocket bird. She from Memphis and misdemeanor when she stole the beans from Lima. Tell me where in the world is
Carmen San Diego.
well, tell me where in the world. Come on, tell me where can she be? Botswana to Thailand, Milan via Amsterdam, Mali to Bali, Ohio. Oh, whoa. Oh, Warren. Oh, Warren. Oh, Warren. Oh, Warren. Ooh, the cheese. Ooh, the cheese. Oh, and it makes us think, yeah. And it makes us think, boom. And it makes us think, yeah. And it makes us think, Monday to Friday at 5. She flies around the globe and she'll win them every nation. She's a double-dealing diva with a taste for favoring. Her itinerary's loaded with moving violations. Tell me where in the world is
Carmen San Diego.
tell me where in the world is Carmen San Diego. Tell me where in the world is Carmen San Diego. Tell me where in the world is Carmen San Diego. Tell me where in the world is Carmen San Diego. Tell me where in the world is where can she be? Where in the world is Carmen San Diego. Tell me where in the world is
Carmen San Diego.
watch your back.